Hello, everyone. It's really good to be back. It's really good to be sitting here with one of the smartest people in the world you'll ever meet, but also one of the dumbest. That was an interesting way to bring it in. So,
and which one is which?
They get to figure that out.
Okay.
We're happy you guys are here. This is gonna be a fun podcast. Really looking forward to it. All the cool things we have to talk about. It's really gonna be good. Aren't you stoked? Chris?
Oh, I am so excited. This is practically Tristan's podcast right
Bro,
here.
it's not
this
my
is
podcast.
Tristan's episode right here.
Okay, this is my episode.
This is what he like excels in. We are sitting here.
You're gonna just tell on us
episode.
Right now. Okay.
We were in the last episode. We had talked about trying to just run behind on podcasts. So anyway, we're kind of rushing through a couple podcasts. So we're sitting here with like no actual topic.
Oh yeah, we
get
got a topic.
Fun. You don't have to worry about. I get the fun of trying to name this and put a description and put a paragraph.
Hey, you're the editor. I don't really care.
So this is gonna be
Good for
difficult,
you.
but this is where Tristan excels in. So
Good for you. All right, first question of the day.
okay.
If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? Okay, you can think about it.
Sin.
You keep thinking about it. I'm serious. Like, you don't have to
Sin.
answer right now. What?
Sin.
You'd change sin? What do you mean you'd change sin? Like, there wouldn't be sin?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let me specify a little
Too
more.
broad.
I'm looking for, like, whether that's, like, you would change whether all buildings were built upside down.
What?
Or, yeah, something crazy. Or all
So
pond
nothing
water
like
was...
spiritual or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, sure, that's fine. Yeah, I don't really care. But I was just... So if that's your answer, that's fine.
Well, probably sin, but that's like so broad. I mean, but that's
No,
like,
I get it. That's a good answer.
like I was thinking like, okay, people like it's just you cannot murder people, or like you cannot have human trafficking, or like
Right. Which all
like,
comes back to
they
sin.
cannot abortion or whatever. Like that's what I'd like to do. So in general, sin, but
Right, okay, but one thing to change in, like, the literal world, maybe?
yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, whether all cars now had to have square tires. Like, if you could just change one thing. And
You
it was
have
like a
good
wall.
suspension.
Okay, you can think about it, though. Come up with a
Okay.
good one. I've had a really good, busy week this week. And I'm realizing how valuable time is. Okay, your wheels are spinning way too fast. Slow them down a bit. I'm realizing how valuable time is with friends and family. So for all you listening, I don't know what your lifestyle's like. I don't know what your jobs are like. An encouragement that I have this week is treasure those moments you have with those you enjoy being around. Because the moment that it gets hard, or you're working a lot, or life gets busy, you don't talk to them, you're going to wish you had it. So if you do get an opportunity to, just sit down with a friend and have a cup of coffee or whatever it is, like, do it. Because it's something I've missed, like, all week long. Mm-hmm. I've really been really busy and haven't did anything else but work. And it kind of gets hard simply for the fact of you don't get to be with people. Mm-hmm. So live your life, like that, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like, with the purpose and intentionality to be with people.
Yeah. Right.
Did you come up with your thing you changed? I think you kind of did, so. Boom, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it? What would you change?
I would change our gravity to be 50% what it is right now.
Okay, so it'd be 50% less?
Yes.
So you mean if something was falling, it'd fall at half the speed?
Right.
Dude, I could shoot clay pigeons finally.
Right.
Oh!
That's what I'm saying. Like,
This would be
you'd have
awesome.
more reaction time. Things would be a lot lighter. Not near as heavy.
So we would still be on the ground, or we'd kind of be like floating halfway in the air?
We would still be on the ground because you still have gravity. So eventually, over time, it does bring you back down.
But we'd
it's just
kind of
for
be
50%.
floaty, kind of.
So like that, it'll drop half as fast, but it'll still be dropping because it's just half as fast.
So it'd just be floaty a little bit. Like,
right.
we'd
So
kind
it
of be
takes
floaty.
the weight off. It takes about half. I think it'll take probably about half of the weight off of what this would
So
weigh.
of all things in the world, you would choose gravity.
I don't know. For you, so it came to mind. Yeah, and you could jump way higher than.
Now your turn to talk. I'm going to think about what I would change.
Yeah, what would you change?
I'm thinking about it. Talk.
Dude,
make something up.
No, I was gonna go off of what you're saying too, because that is really really good advice. That was one of the times that Tristan actually had something smart to say.
Bro.
No, but it is friendships, relationships are so important, and I feel like it's really easy to. I know I've talked about this before in the podcast, but it's really easy to focus on the here and now and the more important things in life, and valuing friendships. And like, I know Tristan, especially this last week, has been working really, really busy. And so it's just a good reminder of like, it was to an extent. So it's like, man, like I'd like to go do something in the evening or something. Oh, he couldn't. And there will be times in life that you can't. There's been times in life that I can't. There's been times in life, though, that I know I could have and I chose not to because I just was like, well, this is more important or something. And realizing, like, when you can, make that a priority because relationships is really what matters. Like,
Oh, yeah.
whether you have $1 million in the bank when you die, it doesn't really matter. Like, the friendships you've made, what you've done and the memories you've made is way more important than
Well, I just
whatever
realized
else.
that this week because
Yeah.
it just I had the tremendous lack thereof, and so it was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got my thing.
Okay.
Dude, I think about this actually a lot because I desire this so much to the point where, if it was at all possible, I would go
Fish
to do
could
it.
talk.
Huh?
That your pet fish could talk.
Yeah, my pet fish could talk, bro. That is the lamest thing. No, if I could change one thing in the world.
Okay.
This is obviously kind of just aside from like sin or whatever that is,
Right.
but
Yeah.
if I could change anything in the world, humans would, or at least me, I'm not sure if I want other humans to, but at least me, would have the ability to teleport. Basically, say, I want to be at the mall in San Francisco and I'm at the mall in San Francisco. Or say, I want to be on some trail in the Appalachian Mountains. Instantly, I'm there. Or I want to be at your house and instantly I'm there. So I could go anywhere I want
Yeah.
with just saying I want to be there.
Interesting.
Dude, there's been countless times because like, oh, I have 20 minutes. Oh, I should go into town and shop. Well, that's not long enough to go into town and shop. But if I could instantly say I was there, then I would have 20 minutes in town to shop.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of disagree with you, but it's okay. Because
You would not want to have that ability?
no, that would be cool, and it does sound really, really cool. Because it's like I want to see the Eiffel Tower. Boom, I'm in Paris.
Right, yeah.
Like, like that does sound cool.
Is that where the Eiffel Tower's at?
Yep. Here soon you'll see a picture of me beside it.
I knew
Um,
Oh, that's true.
like, yes, but also I do not like where like our generation. It feels like past maybe especially our generation, next generation is like. Time is no longer a necessity. It's just like literally, like everything's about time. Like okay, from this thing to this thing to this thing to this thing. And like one of my things when I was in South America on one of my charge trip that I was like helping South America.
Right.
Was one of the things is like time wasn't like appointments to an extent. Like say they make an appointment, it doesn't really matter because if you're with this person and invested in their life, then that's more important because you currently have a situation you're invested in. That's more important than what you're going to do because you don't know what that's going to be. Like that. That's why I just like it was just slow.
Yeah.
Like, it was annoying to an extent because like okay, you made an appointment, they may not show up till like an hour or two later because well they chatted somebody on the bus or whatever. But like so annoying to an extent. But I liked how just life was just slowed and like with that it's just like you miss so much in life when you rush. Well, just with teleporting, like if you could do that, then like
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
like maybe in the moment it'd be sweet because you
Right.
were here sitting on the couch, literally in the next second you're in Paris looking at the Eiffel Tower. You spend a couple days there, then you're back here working or whatever. Great, now you saw the but in real life, you got maybe it's not necessarily fun in the moment, but you got the fun of the flight. If you flew with somebody all that time, the experiences, maybe the mishaps.
So maybe it's just an option to teleport.
Yeah. But then people are
it'd
going
be
to use it, and that's what I don't like. Because as long as it's an option,
Oh, dude, I would use it all
everybody's
the
going
time.
to use it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't like that because you miss so much in life. Like, enjoy the moment.
Yeah, but
Enjoy
you get
even
so
what
much more time,
seems
too.
annoying, like a road trip. Like there's so much fun. Yeah, there's not fun to it too. There's so many memories made.
See, I
and
think
there's-
I'd rather just be able to be there somewhere.
See, you're falling into the rut of this generation.
Anyway. Okay.
But then that
was fun.
isn't interesting. That is yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. Well, I just like I've thought about it like
Yeah.
what if I could change something, like what would I change? And
Yeah.
would you ever consider being president?
I thought about it.
Like, do you think you'd make a good president?
No.
Why not?
Not decisive enough. And I don't have, okay, this sounds weird, but I'm not mean enough. So that sounds really weird, but like,
No, yeah.
you have to just kind of rip people apart because you got to hold up for like I know this is going to literally tear somebody apart, but that's what a decision I have to make type of deal.
Right, yeah.
And, like, I feel too much probably for people. I'm like, oh.
You're making decisions for the world.
And I'd listen to this person and listen to this person and listen to this person because I want to hear everybody's opinion, hear everybody's side, which to a point you just have to be like, this is what needs to happen. Boom. I don't care what you guys hear. Like, it sounds mean, but you kind of have to do some of that with president. So I don't think I'd probably like to be a president.
No, I was just curious.
Would you? I feel like you'd make a lot better president than I would. As long as I was your vice president. Because I would be listening to everybody and then I could give you advice.
I wouldn't say I enjoy making people mad, but sometimes.
You kind of do. Like, I feel like you would.
There's
not
times
that you
where
enjoy it, but like if you know it's right and you're in a rightful,
that's exactly. There's been so many times, it seems like I just experienced somebody's like doing something completely wrong or out of character.
Yeah.
And yet they just like don't want to hear. It's like,
I think you and I would make a good president and vice president.
Actually, potentially good. Yeah.
Like you'd be president and I'd be vice president.
Yeah, because the vice president has a lot of control.
Because you're popular, so then you get all the attention.
That's true.
So like I'm kind of just behind the scenes.
No, that's true. Oh, I still have my umbilical cord attached.
Doing all your dirty work.
Yeah.
Like everything, because this dude literally, oh my word.
You do not do all my dirty work.
Practically.
No. What?
Here on the podcast, like he just sits down, yakety yaks, and then we leave.
Dude, but I'm the one that has to think up all the wisdom.
Days later. I'm the one that spends days later did the editing and all that work. But like, yeah. So this guy, which again we're gonna talk about his fish because we can't go with another episode without talking about his fish. He wants fancy fish tank.
No, we're gonna build it.
Which we're probably gonna build.
Yeah. Or no, we are.
We're probably gonna build. But okay, so he has this big huge plan, and he does like he's great at like. Sorry about that. He's great at like making up plans,
designing.
He's a visionary. You're very visionary.
Correct.
But he has more visionary, less do in him.
And hey! Okay, that's
anyway,
very true.
So it was kind of funny because we were talking about this one afternoon at his parents' house, and he was like writing on the board and everything, and he's wanting me to basically help him.
Yeah. Oh.
Do it. Which is funny because it's like literally I do all his dirty work because what it would be is he'd come up with these elaborate plans, and then we would work on it, and I'd be over here like, okay, this needs to happen, this needs to happen. Okay, so now I got to figure out this. We've got to buy this.
To be exact,
we got to put this together, and you'd be over here like.
Basically, what's gonna happen is Preston's gonna be building it. Preston's going to be building it, and I'm going to be standing there going, I actually want this to be like this. So change that.
He's going to be that annoying guy that always is like, just leave it alone.
Okay,
you're making it
we
way
may
harder.
have to post a picture, though, when we get this thing built. It's going to be very legit. I kid you not. It's going to have waterfalls in it. It's going to be sick. Yeah. But it's going to take some time, and obviously I'm so skilled in that type of area that I need Preston's help. That made so much sense.
You need to teach me. I want to learn.
Do you like Teslas, by the way? Do you like the new age car look?
Like the look of them?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Dude, can you imagine? In like 150 years, people from now are going to be like, oh, to have a gas car would be like an antique. That would be so legit.
Kind of cool. Like,
yeah, because everything's probably going to be electric.
You like turned a key?
Yeah, exactly.
Like a turn, like literally started this thing up and it like made a noise.
Like we're going to, you know how we're keeping cars from like the 1900s or 18s or whatever, like the first cars that were ever made. Now we're like, oh, to have one of those and drive it on the road looks so cool. We're going to think about that about gas vehicles, dude. Somebody's going to be driving a 2015 Dodge Cummins down the road and people are going to be like, oh, that's a good car.
I've thought about that. Okay, so I don't necessarily mind the look that much. I like the concept of gas electric to an extent and all that.
Right.
I still like gas engines. For one, you can work. I know how to work on to an extent, but I know how to work on them. They're like physically, you can fix things instead of everything just being electronically. And I don't love having to just rely on electricity and all of that. Like, I'd just rather go get gas. I feel like I'm more in control because like, hey, if I about run out of gas to my truck, I could have literally a tank of gas in there for backup or whatever. Electricity, you're out of electricity.
You're done.
Get a tow truck. I think they actually may have jump start things now with Teslas. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Roadside.
Are we ready? Can we do an animal fact? Are we good? Sure. Animal fact time?
Please don't be like last time.
Yeah, you're gonna make the noise. This is
no,
gonna
I'm
be
not.
Yes, you are. This is a new thing. I come up with the animal fact, get the animal fact, and you have to make the noise, and then we play the actual noise.
So it's an easier animal. Last time
today,
was elephant night. Oh man,
today we are doing an animal fact about parrots. So get ready with your parrot sound. I'm gonna give the animal fact, and then we're gonna get the parrot sound. Wild parrots use a unique sound for each chick. basically giving them names, and the baby parrots respond to their special call, even as adults.
How do the baby parrots know like which one is their name?
That's a good question. No, that really is.
Like
It's just, I think it's a God-given instinct.
yeah, it's
like,
oh, that's me.
yeah,
Like that was me.
Okay,
that
so
was you.
let's hear the parrot sound.
Was it the bleep or bloop?
Okay,
Parrot.
get ready to make your sound. I'm gonna look one up here.
Okay, I may have to edit this because this will probably come out too loud on the podcast. I'm gonna actually try to turn my mic back.
Well, don't
Because
make it sound.
parrots are loud, but I don't think I can make the actual screech that it makes without being loud. So
Okay,
I
well,
can't believe I'm actually doing this. Okay, parrot sound.
yep, parrot sound. Just you don't have to make it that loud. Just make it.
Ah, okay. I see. I can envision in my head. I just don't know how it's gonna sound coming out of my mouth. Cause
Okay.
I don't think I can match what
Okay,
I'm
this
thinking.
is really not going to be very good. That's a sick parrot. That's a sick parrot if I've ever heard one. Can
No.
Dude, you are awful at mimicking animals. Dude, a parrot doesn't make a whack sound. That's like a sick parrot. Okay, here we go. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for participating. We are going to attempt to play a YouTube video of a parrot I found. This is like just a random parrot. Here we go. Listen. Stop making stupid parrot sounds. Okay, listen. Listen, everybody. Parrot sound. You aren't close, bro.
No, I'm off on this one. Wait, what type of parrot is that though?
I don't know. There's many different kinds. I just pulled up a parrot.
See,
It's a green parrot, bro. It looks green. Anyway, that is awkward. Let's see if I can find. Interesting. So what I'm learning through the last 2 podcasts is Preston can't make animal sounds.
no, I actually did pretty well on the elephant one.
Can you make it crow?
Caw. No, you can. You can do it like spot on.
Yeah,
Caw.
I actually can't.
Caw. No, you do it. You do it. Yeah. See, you can actually do it.
Yeah. I actually have a
That's
good.
like your God-given talent.
What, making bird sounds? No, I can make quite a few sounds, but I also
you
can be
can
like
make
Preston. What are you looking? See, I don't know what
I'm gonna find the parrot because that is.
the parrot sound you made, bro. Wasn't even no parrot, bro. That was like a sick mouse. Did you know, by the way, that mice have like a lot of babies?
They do.
Yeah,
Oh,
they can
yeah.
produce like once a week type of deal. Are you
Oh,
trying
but
to
see, parrots. See,
Okay.
parrots can actually almost talk in person.
No, they can't. They can't.
Right. So that's the
But
thing.
the what or whatever sound you made was like awful.
But they could probably make that sound. So I might have been spot on.
Bro, but that sounds like a parrot who's got the flu.
Well, maybe they do. But
No.
that'd be a parrot sound.
Dude, parrot got the flu.
I wasn't even thinking about that because parrots can make all kinds of sounds.
Yeah.
But I feel like they do make some kind of squawk when they're just going through the woods and like flying.
So I have another question. Do you think there is maybe a select money amount, maybe a percentage of money amount that you can spend a year on hobbies?
That you should.
Yeah.
Like you're saying should.
Yeah, like basically, is there like, you don't have to name a money amount because everybody makes obviously a different amount of money. So this would maybe look different. Is there maybe a percentage? How do you know if you're spending too much on your hobby or not? Maybe. Like just what, how do you know whether
You feel guilty with the purchase?
you feel guilty with a purchase?
I'd say that's a pretty telltale sign.
Right, but in my opinion, there's a lot of purchases that like,
Do you feel guilty about?
right, yeah, every time. Dude, when I buy groceries, bro,
I guess it is true.
No,
You may like getting groceries and it's like, oh, I'm gonna get some Oreos, and it's like, well, they're not very good for
right,
me.
but
You feel a little
on
guilty.
like a hobby, let's say I'm big into fishing. At what point have I pushed it over? Okay, obviously it becomes idealistic, but I'm talking more of the money side of it.
Okay, well, this is.
How do I?
I mean,
know?
I think it takes some common sense and just some wisdom and just like
Mm-hmm.
you. I feel like to an extent, I feel like down deep you should know. Also, you should have really good friends in life that call you out on certain things. Because like if you're a fisherman and you're just like you buy a boat, you're constantly buying tackle. They can always probably justify it to an extent. Like they feel like they're like, oh, this is because of this, or I need this. But down deep, I feel like they probably push them
know.
like knowing like this is excessive. But you
Right.
still do it. I feel like down deep, are you just justifying it? Or do you like, no, like I haven't spent much, but I think
That's a good
the
point.
best way to like realize it is to have a budget.
Yeah, but what's
And,
that budget look like?
well, that's what like, so like I've done small budgets too, but like I'm living my own, so it's a little different. But like that's why you listen to, because we're not a financial podcast, but you listen to like Ramsey
Hey, come
or something
on.
like that.
We could be financial podcast.
Not me.
Oh,
I
okay.
definitely don't think you. But like they listen to like Ramsey or something, they'll actually have like recommended percentages.
Yeah.
But, like
Yeah.
I know like my brother and sister in law, like they actually have they have a percentage of their each pay, like of the paycheck that like they set personally aside for McKenna, personally aside for Jadrian. Like
Okay.
every like, for once a month, they just have like a certain amount, a
Uh-huh.
dollar amount for personal things. Now, sometimes Jadrian, he will just like, okay, I'm gonna buy this with it. I'm gonna just buy a donut, like buy just random things with
That's
it.
kinda
Or
cool
sometimes
idea.
if he's like, I want this purchase, I want this piece of backpacking gear for like, I love backpacking.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. I'm not gonna save it for a Christmas gift idea. Then he will save up his like per month. You
Right.
just keep it in a category and start building up, and then
Right.
eventually he'll use that amount and feel
That's a good
guilt
idea.
free on spending it.
Right, and then that
And so I
that
think
could be
that's
your
a
hobby.
good,
mode.
but then that actually limits like, okay, am I spending too much? No, for one, like it's a good way to save, but it's also another way to limit like, okay, am I spending too much on a hobby?
Right. Right.
And I feel like maybe look differently with different things, because like okay,
For sure.
but like I feel like that would be a wise way. I don't know. What would you say?
I don't think there's just like money amount for one because everybody makes different amounts, so that obviously
Right.
shoots that out the window right away.
Yeah.
I-
'Cause, like,
I just feel
my
like-
hobby amount would be like twice. Or
I feel
triple
like
the
you
size
generally
of yours.
know.
Yeah,
If your
I
wife's
agree.
coming to you and being like, "Hey, like, is this an evil purpose or purchase?
Yeah.
You know, do you really
See, like,
need
I'm
it?"
spending like $5,000 a month on my hobby, and my
Yeah.
wife still hasn't came and talked to me about it.
Right.
So that doesn't always work.
That's weird how that would work for you. Basically, though, I think that's ultimately what it is. You know deep down, like, oh, I don't really need this, but yet it's fun. It looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's between you and if you have a spouse, you and your spouse. If you're single and can financially spend quite a bit on a hobby, I'm not going to tell you you can't do that.
Yeah.
I just feel like you have to decide what you want in life. Like,
Yeah.
And that's what it is for me anyway. Like,
Yeah.
you're just going to have to
I
decide.
mean, like, okay, obviously, I think several things just keep everything in check, because if you have
Right.
a wife, you two talk about it. If you're okay to spend a decent amount on like a hobby that you guys have, well then that's what you decided to do in life. But at the same
Exactly.
time, keep it in check. It's like, okay, I'm a follower of Christ. What does God say about this? Obviously, do your tithing and spending and like give. That's super important. Well,
Right.
then I still have leftover money, and we're live responsibly. Don't like obviously honor your wife, so don't like just be living in a doghouse while spend all your money on a hobby, because that's wrong too. That's not going against the Bible. In the same time,
Exactly.
like, okay, yeah, I'm not saying that's wrong. And maybe you're spending a decent amount of your paycheck on a hobby, but also keep in check, is that enabling your hobby to become an idol in your life? Like,
Oh,
like,
my.
So that's where I
Yeah.
feel like there's multiple things in check. So just like,
Yep.
I think that's why you follow several things, which should, I mean, like, I don't know if there's necessarily one given answer.
You're probably right. I thought about like,
Yeah.
I feel like hobbies are just a big part
Yeah.
for most people's life.
They
Most
are.
people really have some hobbies that they spend money on. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's wrong, but for me, I literally probably don't have a lot of hobbies. A couple of my hobbies would literally
You're just
be
a
like
boring guy.
my fish tank. Like I like
Yeah.
fish, and I'm probably gonna spend some money on this next thing we're gonna build, obviously.
Right.
So that's kind of a hobby. Another hobby of mine is looking for animal antlers, like deer antlers,
Right.
and but that doesn't really cost much money.
Right.
So there is hobbies you can do that don't cost you much.
Yeah.
Maybe your hobby's hiking, like a day hikes, or yeah, you have to buy some gear, but
Right.
if your hobby is fishing, you're probably gonna spend a little more money,
Yeah.
most likely. So maybe pick a hobby that's maybe more financially,
Right.
suitable.
And it makes sense, like, there's different things, because, like, maybe, like, okay, in a normal situation, like, okay, you're thinking of building this really, really cool fish tank thing.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe sometimes, like, that's going to be a major amount of money. Like, normally I'm
Right.
like, well, I don't know if it, but also you got to take into the fact, like, okay, it's going to be a really cool fish tank. Maybe, okay, eventually if you want to resell it, you can maybe get a decent amount off of it. Like, take that into consideration. Also take into consideration, through it, you're going to learn a lot. through. I'm gonna learn some stuff, but like I'm saying, as
Yeah.
far as you thinking through, and also like we're gonna have fun time together building
Yeah,
it. Like
exactly.
things like that, you got to take into consideration too, and maybe on like the financial amount, like ooh, I don't know if that's wise, but at the same time, taking all things in consideration, I'm like
Sometimes
yeah,
it
no,
doesn't
this is actually
matter.
worth it.
Well, I
Like,
think sometimes
yeah,
it's not all about it's about friendships,
like
relationships.
just like I really enjoy hiking. And
Yeah.
I just made several big purchases on like hiking boots and then hiking
Yep.
backpack and stuff.
Yep.
But also at the same time, like, okay, I love hiking. Like, it's a good way to get back out in nature. Just like connection with God, like just different than just I feel like getting away from my everyday life, getting out that rut. But also at the same time, like I always hike with friends. I always hike with my family, like people.
Right.
That's partially just like it makes it more worth actually spending a decent amount. Like I don't want to just justify unhealthy purchases, but
Yeah.
like feel like okay, no, this is actually decent.
Then it
and,
makes it worth
and
it.
reasonable. Yeah. For
Well, and
sure.
I don't think that's unreasonable at all, personally.
Yeah.
I think that's very fine. But I was just curious how you,
Yeah.
how you know. But I think you know deep down,
Yeah.
just look at your life. Everybody's life is going to be different. Everybody has different abilities.
Yeah.
Everybody has different cash flow and all that. So
Right.
something between you and your spouse, or you and your wife, or something.
Me
Which
and
is
my
same.
spouse. And
Yeah,
me and my friends. Okay, a question, random, because this is something I was thinking about something else, which made me think of this.
Okay.
What do you call a guy coffee person? Is it still a barista?
Bristow.
I'm gonna look it up.
Does it-
'cause I'm so curious.
A barista. Yeah, it's probably still a barista, dude. How would it? Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a barista. I mean, a barista is kind of cool, actually, sounding. I'm not gonna lie, but
Barista.
yeah.
A male coffee maker. A barista.
I think
In Italian, it's used to describe both male and female coffee makers in Italian.
Barista.
Italian. Fancy. Okay. So yeah, it's gender neutral.
See, I like barista.
Barista. Wait.
Barista.
While some may use barista as a hypercorrect, non-standard term for
Yup.
male barista.
Yup.
Nah, that's actually funny.
I just thought of it, but to me it makes sense.
It's kind of
Barista.
cool. Barista.
I'm a
I think I'd call
barista.
it barista now.
Yeah, I'm a barista,
No,
man.
sorry. It made me think because this Saturday, I was working in a coffee cart, and it was really fun. But I was just learning the first time to actually truly work in a coffee cart, which I really enjoyed it. But I was just thinking through. I'm like, okay, am I a barista? But I like barista better now. So if somebody asks me, it's like, oh, what do you do Saturday? And I'm like, we're like, oh, you're a coffee. I'm like, no, I'm a barista.
I think a barista sounds good.
Kind of cool.
Manually.
Yeah, sounds a little more manly. No, but okay, where I was coming from is I was gonna ask you like, how well do you work with like customers or people? Because like from the coffee cart, it shows a blast working in the coffee cart, and I really enjoyed talking to people. I'll start off just asking you how well do you just, which farming you don't have to tons.
Where
you
I don't
don't
have
work
much
with your
at all.
coworkers. You don't really have to at all with my actual, because I also do tree climbing and stuff. With that, like I actually work with customers
Uh-huh.
at least someone once a day because we always go to the job site and like a customer, but a lot of times multiple customers a day. But like you have a little bit in the past, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Like,
I
but
think,
how
well-
do you feel like you kind of struggle and it's just like ugh, not really enjoy
Talking to
it,
people's
but-
actually kind of always been like a strong point of mine.
strong point. Yeah.
Like no,
Not
like
joking.
like I don't
Yeah.
I don't really know a stranger type of thing.
Yeah.
And like if I get an opportunity and I think that I need to talk to them, like it's just I would say it's
Yeah.
actually probably a little bit of a talent,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh, definitely.
Just
Be able
that's
to
just
strike
kind
up
of who I am.
conversation.
I'm a people guy,
Yeah.
and so it's obviously farming's kind of been hard in some ways because it's just like I don't have people interaction.
Yeah.
So like in the future maybe a job looks very people interactive.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be like work at the cash register at like a Goodwill. I'm kidding. But yeah,
Well,
like
they do accept, I think, like not mentally, like
mentally,
handicapped people.
that's probably me. My big toe, bro, has got like a nail that's weird on it or something now. So yeah, I would say I'm actually pretty good at it. Like it's pretty natural, pretty easy for me
Yeah.
to talk to people. But I just probably because I kind of think on
Yeah.
the spot type of thing.
Right.
Like,
Which is a talent, but like
yeah.
you have to be intentional about it.
Right. Yeah.
Connection from last podcast, but like,
yeah.
no, it's just very interesting to me because we'd mentioned last night we went to the palace for supper, and you'd mentioned it with our server. She was just super nice and like felt like genuinely like was just
Yeah.
like, hey, I want to like make your dining experience good.
Yeah.
You get some of the people over the top and it's like they just want a tip, or sometimes you get those people that are like, okay, you're getting no tip type of deal. Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah,
but it
sure.
felt like she was just genuinely like, I want to make your experience better.
Yeah.
So I was just curious. Like, I feel like okay, I love doing that as coffee serving. I like actually working with people. This last Saturday, like that was my very first time. I feel like I didn't do very well necessarily with the people, but something I wanted to do better, partially because I was learning so much. I was like trying to just like, I'm a guy, so I'm just like multitasking is a little bit more of a challenge.
Very much
but
of
like,
a challenge.
you have to do like 3 or 4 things at once, and like, okay, Miranda's back here making coffee, and it's like, okay, all of a sudden she needs help doing something like that, or they're like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing on this screen. I have to like, we're trying to do some multiple, or like, okay, this drink, or they asked me a question, like I'm trying to, and then at the same time I like almost forget sometimes the purpose, like, oh, like I want to be friendly because it makes such a difference. But I actually enjoy it. Like I like that. Trying to like, okay, how can I make this person's life, like you kind of judge the like as they came walking to the window. Like later in the day, I actually had a lot more fun because like the first part was just all I was focused on working, so I felt like I probably like I tried to be like, hey, good morning, what can I serve you this today or whatever. Like I tried to be friendly, but like I was just stressed with trying to figure out everything. But toward the end, I was a little more comfortable with the other things, and so like I saw the person, like, oh, he looks like he kind of gave off a vibe or something. It's like, how can I connect to him in a way and make his day? Like one guy was like, he looks like kind of like a certain specific construction vibe, which he ended up was like getting trained in the crane or whatever there. And we just struck off a conversation. Anyway, he ended up, so I probably get called out from the boss now that runs the coffee trailer, but he ended up, we chatted for quite a while, and finally he was like, oh, I was just checking your menu, and he walked away and not ordered anything. But like, still like, okay, if anybody asked him like, you want coffee from this coffee cart, he would probably be like, oh, absolutely, yeah, go there. They're super nice and friendly. So in the end, it was probably a good thing, just good friendly service.
Right, he was just looking at the menu.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. So it was just, it was very interesting. I don't know. Just it was very interesting to me and a fun experience. It's like, it's fun because you can feel like, to an extent, you could tell you almost made their day. And I can see why, because like I've went to coffee shops before, even restaurants before, and like when they feel like that they genuinely care beyond just the tip, because like that was like I didn't really care about the tip, which especially the tip machine wasn't working for a while, so it was like I don't really care what tip they give me, I just want to make their day.
Yeah. And
so when they kind of come there, I'm like, hey, good afternoon, how you doing? How are you enjoying the show or whatever? Like, because it was an event or whatever, and like, and then ask something specifically. It's like they'd mention something maybe about like something cool about Ellensburg. And go, oh, so where are you from? You must not be from Ellensburg. Like, no, and then like invest in like, I don't know. It's kind of fun. So I was just curious, like, I don't know. Like I feel like you're very natural at it. Like you have a pretty good tendency of just like, just kind of you have that. Well, you kind of have that like
dumbness
funniness
about me.
No. Funniness, like you can kind of make, like you can quickly make somebody feel super comfortable. Like you have that tendency just to like kind of crack a joke, and all of a sudden like like no matter who the person is, they just like kind of laugh and like breaks the ice like almost immediately.
Yeah,
or,
like
or just kind of you have a way about you. So
getting the ice broke is important.
Or barista.
Barista. I should be a barista.
Barista. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not Italian. I'm not Italian.
Italian.
That was just a random thought that I had. So
that was a weird random thought. It's time for you to give the verse. Your random thoughts are getting the best of me.
Yeah, you're falling asleep over there.
I am. I'm gonna fall asleep.
Wow. Well, podcast out of nothing. What interest? So I feel like actually did a lot of talking. Oh my word, Tristan. But wow, yeah. Now I get the fun of trying to title this podcast. And yeah, people, please give me grace about some of these random podcasts.
They're not random. They're very much planned. The Lord had
that have weird titles to them, because I have to pull something out of like a whole scrambled mess. So
it's not a scrambled mess. It's an organized mess.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm ready for the verse.
Anyway, we're gonna read.
You forget what you were gonna read.
Which verse I was going to read off of?
Verse 4.
Verse 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Psalm 29.
The smart one.
Verse
That's
4.
a moment.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will feel no evil.
I will feel no evil.
I messed up the last verse.
I
need you to be reading these.
I got it. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy
For
rod and
you
thy
are
staff.
with me, because I'm reading ESV.
Oh.
Your rod and your staff,
They comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Yea, though I walk through the
No,
valley
you
of the
anoint my head with oil.
Oh. Okay.
My cup overflows.
Runneth over.
Surely goodness and mercy shall
Follow me all the days of my life, and I will
dwell
love
in the house of the Lord
forever.
Anyway, specifically verse 4. Just, you can rely on Christ.
Crossed?
You can
Preston
rely on
can't talk.
Christ.
I will speak English. Rely on Christ.
He's my interpreter.
He will be for you. Yeah, I'm interpreter. Say what you want to say. Preston's like, blah, 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 blah. That he meant to say, thank you for joining us on this podcast. We're so glad you joined us. And there's going to be another episode. Maybe Preston will be able to talk.